Alright, here we are in the third match. We're on the draw. My opponent's mulligan. I like this hand. It's very painful, but we have the Vault Scourge. Vault Scourge, Etched, Cranial, Fast Mana. It could be much, much worse. So I think my turn one here is going to be Ancient Tomb. Do I want to do Ancient Tomb? I guess let's see what I draw. Ancient Den. Okay, so I actually think so. I could go Ancient Tomb, Vault Scourge, Spring Leaf, and then kind of nothing. But I think that's probably better than most stuff. Maybe Eating a Force. Nope. If I had a Mox Opal, that would have been great. Don't mind that getting Spell Pierce with the other mana I have in my hand. Really more worried about losing the Cranial, honestly, as I'm going to be doing 6 damage to myself before turn 2. Flooded Strand, okay. Fetching a Tropical, so perhaps, yeah, some sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? Bug Delver. So now, going to play Ancient Den, Cranial Plating. This is to get around a potential Wasteland. I'm going to attack my opponent for 4. Next turn, we'll be able to play the Etched as a blocker. Hopefully my opponent doesn't just kill my Cranial here. It's kind of my way I want to win. But entirely plausible he has an Abrupt Decay in hand. I think a Spell Pierce was interesting instead of a Daze, although I'm not sure what the Daze to Spell Pierce ratio in these decks are. If he gets a Wasteland, I'm okay with it, because no matter what he does, I can replay the land next turn. So that's not horrible. This Goyf isn't getting any bigger off of this Brainstorm. He needs like a sorcery to do that. And again, this is another matchup where I kind of wish I had a Swords. Scalding Tarn, Cracking. I assume to go get a Volcanic, so it's a 4-color Delver deck, so that's interesting. Maybe it's not even a Delver deck, honestly. Maybe it's just 4 colors Goyf. I think I like the new art better. Blasphemy, I know. So if he has a Bolt, he'll do it on my turn. Potentially, probably. Yes, there's the sorcery. Now Goyf is a 4/5. I got to take 4 here. No big deal. Let's go ahead and play our Seed of the Synod. And I don't think there's a reason not to play the Etched pre-combat, so I can try potentially get in for some more lifelink here. Although I'm fairly certain that Vault Scourge is going to die right now. Ooh, maybe not. Well, let's go ahead and suit up Etched so my opponent can't attack favorably with this Goyf. The next turn I can swing in with the Etched for the win. I'll play a artifact land to be able to attack my opponent for 8. Unless he has an Abrupt Decay, in which case he will kill it, and I'll be attacking him for
3. Alright, there's a Wasteland, unfortunately. That means I will not be able to swing 8 next turn unless I draw an artifact that's not a creature. So now I kind of wish I hadn't played the Seed of the Synod, because if he gets rid of my blue source, I won't be able to play Tezzeret if I draw it. But I guess I couldn't have done that anyway because I didn't have the black source out already. But yeah, I figured he would waste the blue source. Delving for a Tassiger, perhaps. A-okay with that. A dig through time, okay. So actually, I still do have lethal if my opponent doesn't find a bolt here, because I can attack with the Vault Scourge and the Etch for a total of 8. So a bit of an interesting spot here. No idea what my opponent's getting. Don't really think my opponent's playing Delver anymore, to be perfectly honest. Maybe it's some sort of 4-color control deck. Yeah, no idea what he's going to get. If it's a board wipe, I don't know. I don't know if... My opponent's not playing white, so I think that might be out of the question unless he's playing Damnation. In which case, why is he playing Goyf? So, we'll just have to see. And he's also main phase digging. So I think that's interesting as well. Okay, so he selected a card. He selected his cards. Okay, so main phase dig. I presume he... Okay, it is a Delver deck, and he does not have a bolt. Well, he no longer can bolt me. So we'll play Vault of Whispers and attack for 8 here. And hopefully this will be enough. Alright, yeah, great. We win game 1. Alright, so bringing in Perish. Didn't really see anything to revoke that game. Bringing in 2 Perish. Let's take out 2 Frogmite. And we'll see this game if we need to bring in other stuff, but I think that should be just fine. Yeah, should be fun. Grindy matchup, 4-color Delver deck. Not really sure what we're playing against. The fun of Legacy. You know, it's great having such a deep card pool, and it's kind of sad that, to me anyway, that a deck... Well, I don't know. Like, Miracles is a fine deck. It's a great example of the power level of Legacy in blue. But I do like it that you can play potentially anything, and it's kind of interesting to me that the larger the card pool, typically the less deck variety, but for those of people who think that Legacy is a turn 1, turn 2 kill format, like, yeah, that happens. But I think the format's very fun, interesting, and interactive most games. This hand is a keep. If my opponent has Wasteland, it's not great, but Stoneforge to go get Jite is not bad. Turn 1, I can either go... Well, depending what I draw. It all depends what I draw. Like if I draw a Mox Opal, I think this hand is freaking sweet, but let's see what we get. Another Ancient Den. So that makes me want to lead... Yeah, I'm going to lead Ancient Den Springleaf. Because if my opponent Wastelands me or if this Delver flips, I don't want to already be down 5 life. Next turn, probably going to play the Ancient Tomb, not the Ancient Den. And then I can Arcbound and Stoneforge in the same turn. Okay, so yeah, this Delver is definitely going to flip if my opponent is Brainstorming. And I'm hoping he does not Wasteland this Ancient Den, because that's sort of the linchpin of my strategy right now. I suppose if he does, I can go Ancient Tomb, Arcbound, but then I don't have a follow-up play, unfortunately, and I really would like to resolve 2 spells this turn. Alright, what is it? What's flipping? Spell Pierce. Okay, so that's not a big deal. Definitely not a big deal right now. My opponent does not have a land, it seems. So
So yeah, I'm glad I did not play the Arcbound turn 1 now, as I'd be down an additional 2 points. Vault of Whispers is a fine draw. Certainly not the best, but certainly also not the worst. So if this Arcbound doesn't resolve, what do I do? Okay, it did resolve. Stoneforge, go grab Jite. Now he's eating a force. Pitching Spell Pierce. Okay. I mean, that's a blow, but not the end of the world, I don't think. Next turn, can play Cranial or Arcbound. Can play both even, because I'll have access to 5 mana, so I can play Arcbound, play Equip Cranial. That seems like a decent line right now. If I top deck Tez, I'll just slam him and +1 him. Dig around for my Jite a little. Hopefully provide a bit of a buffer against these Delver attacks. So I have a couple different lines here that appeal to me. My opponent missed a land drop last turn, so that's good. Perhaps put some land back on top. Perhaps finds another land here. Yeah, okay. Not too shabby. At least it's not a wasteland. Going to play my Ancient Den next turn unless I top deck Tezzeret to play around wasteland. Going to go down to 12 here, unfortunately, from the Delver. Or rather, the Insectile Aberration at this point. Unsurprised that gets bolted. That's going to be a big tempo swing here for my opponent. I think I can hopefully recover. Okay, combat damage is over. Come on, internet. There we go. Yeah, and step over. Another Ancient Den is not what I wanted to draw. But I will play it. Come on. So I want to play it on the wasteland. I hate when Moto does this. Well, I played the Vault of Whispers anyway. My mistake. Let's play the other Arcbound. Cranial. Whoa, whoa, whoa. That's not what I wanted to do. That's fine, I think. Definitely not what I wanted to do. I thought I paid to equip, but instead I was sacrificing. I blame the lag. Yeah, now I don't know what's going to happen. I can try and race my opponent. Perhaps. But 2 Delvers I'm definitely not going to be able to. So I need to draw something here. Not Opal, not great. I'll attack with the Arcbound. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I guess we'll sack the Springleaf. So I'm probably not going to get a chance to use it. You know, if my opponent tries to bolt me, I can sack in response, but I assume if he has a bolt, it will go upstairs. Fortunately, that Delver didn't flip, which means my opponent's not drawing a spell this turn. Can still get in for 4, though, and then I need to draw into something next turn to win me the game. So let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, not enough.
If I hadn't accidentally sacrificed the cranial, it might have been a little different. We'll keep as is, and hopefully just have a better hand this game. I could be playing Dispatch maybe instead of Swords, but I like how Swords doesn't need artifacts. Yes, I will play first. This hand is awesome. I will keep it. I think my turn 1 is going to be... Let's see, I could turn 1... Let's do turn 1 Seat Springleaf. I think this is a turn 2 Tez? No, it's not. Because I would need a 0 drop for this to be a turn 2 Tez. So maybe I'll draw into an Ornithopter or a Midnight. That'd be great. What is this? Delver. That's fine. Come on, 0 drop. Ancient Den, not horrible. So let's go ahead and Ancient Tomb. Yeah, Frogmite. Then play Cranial. Hopefully we'll eat a counterspell instead of my beautiful Tezzeret. Does not. So now no matter what next turn, I will be able to cast this Tezzeret. Whether or not it resolves remains to be seen. I'd like to draw another... I'd still like to draw a 0-drop creature, so I have to tap out totally to do it. My opponent's Delver is going to flip. Which makes me sad. Let's see what my opponent flips up here. Spell Pierce. So can't actually play Tez next turn. No, actually I can if my opponent doesn't have another land drop. And he does. So that makes playing Tezzeret unappealing because I don't want him to be countered. So I have 4, I'll have 5 mana. Yeah, I have to wait 2 turns. Unless I somehow top deck into a... Oh, unless my Frogmite just gets bolted here. Pithing Needle, no, that's fine. He's probably going to name Cranial, fine with me. I would much rather this Tezzeret resolve. What do I draw? Mox Opal, that's perfect. Let's grab the Ornithopter for a blocker. Swing 2. How many artifacts do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So actually, probably getting the Vault Scourge would have been better, but I really don't want to pay life. So next turn I'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'll have 8 artifacts, potentially 9. So could win next turn. But going to have to block the Tezzeret with, the Insectile Aberration. I probably should have -1. Yeah, I probably should have -1 instead of +1. Oh, but I didn't have the Ornithopter. I had to Tezzeret for it, so never mind. So could -1 to get like my Cranial, make my Cranial be a 5/5. I guess it depends what my opponent does here. If my opponent attacks me, I will not block, and Tezzeret can +1 again, or -1 on the Ornithopter, rather. I don't know, it's going to depend largely on, like every turn, going to depend on what my opponent does here, but I like our game plan here. I think Tezzeret's going to help us carry this. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8. So yeah, I could potentially have lethal next turn if my opponent... Okay, so yeah, that's fine. So 2 options here. Could make a creature, or could... because I assume he's attacking Tezzeret, yeah. Or could +1. Another Cranial isn't good. I think I'm going to +1 and hope to find something I can use to kill my opponent. Like Jite, or another blocker perhaps. Or like Etch Champion. But I'm actually going to take the Vault Scourge. Just force my opponent to have a bunch of removal. And still digging for the Jite, because that will help me win this game very easily. Probably could have just played this other Cranial. That might have been smart. But I have so much mana. So I am going to have to block this Insectile Aberration with my Vault Scourge. But I really want to find that Jite. I mean, if he just kills the Tezzeret here, I'll feel very silly. Is he going to sack his Delta to shuffle away his Brainstorm cards? Yep. Also, having used an Abrupticate on Ornithopter is not that exciting. On Vault Scourge, it is better, and that looks like what's happening, so I guess I'm losing Tezzeret. Unfortunate. I could draw into another one. That'd be awesome. So right now this is a race I'm not going to win. Come on, something. Ornithopter. At least it's a blocker. Losing that Tez is rough, though. Not being able to play the Cranial is also kind of rough. So now, I don't mind if I draw a Thought Cast, because I would like to see a bit more of my deck. Oh, I think I took them all out, actually, so never mind. Can't remember what I took out and what I kept in. I've been here so long. Yeah, my opponent's just able to grind out a bunch of advantage here. Although, making him use 2 Abrupt Decays on kind of little creatures is okay, but it's not awesome since I lost the Tezzeret, I suppose. 4-color Delver, ladies and gentlemen. I will be taking 3 here. Right? Yeah, I'm going to take 3 and see if I can get a little bit more value off this Ornithopter. My opponent hasn't really been playing a lot of spells. Past couple of Deathrite Shaman's definitely a good spell. Maybe hopefully I can draw on a Phyrexian Revoker before he gets to do anything with that, because that will definitely end the game pretty quick here. Perish, don't mind that. Yep, just the
Green board wipe on one card, but cannot let that get online. Whew, what a game. Let's go ahead and attack. Drawing an Arcbound would be great. Drawing a the GT would be fantastic. Is my opponent going to dig through time here? Yep. I could use a dig through time. I have enough for it. I have enough mana for it. But yeah, I desperately need to draw into an action spell. Yeah, if I'd used Tezzeret to make something a 5/5, this would be a... Well, he still did replicate, I suppose. So, would not have been GG. No, I could have made a land a 5/5. You can't replicate that, so... That probably was the correct play back there. Vault Scourge, do not mind. I'm going to block the Insectile Aberration this turn with the the Ornithopter. Because now I'm getting close to double bolt range. I don't want that to happen. So if I have another dig through time, ugh, brutal. Still got a decent amount of land left in my deck too. The downside of not playing fetch lands. But next turn I can attack my opponent for 3 at least. Then I'll gain 1. I'm gonna hopefully blank my opponent's attack. Swing 3 and then try and get ahead in the race. But if my opponent's grabbing like triple bolt Goyf. Okay, yeah, that's definitely not good. I still have to block with the Ornithopter though, I think. I don't think my opponent has played any other bolts. Yeah, if he's got double bolt in hand, I'm dead. So I do have to block this turn with the Ornithopter. Sorry, buddy. Come on, top deck Tez. You know you want to be there, Tez. Want me to top deck you. Or GT. You know you want to be there. And Goyf. Well, Thoughtcast is a start. Yep, that's going to be game. Well, thank you guys so much for watching today. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Love this deck. I'm hoping to post more videos with it soon. Until next time.